This feels weird to be honest, but hello and welcome to another episode of Gimmicky Lite. That's right, not Gimmicky Tech, Gimmicky Lite. What's the difference? Well, really nothing. This is just a side series where I update some old episodes with either new tech or cards. Oh well, that's the same thing when I think about it. But anyway, in the case of our first edition of Gimmicky Lite, we're returning to Time Thief. Because since the last Gimmicky Tech episode covering them, there has been like 2 new cards added, with one of them being quite the game changer for the engine, and I also got some new builds for it. Now, if you want to learn about the archetype, I recommend first checking out the original episode, then coming back here for the new engine and some more updated deck builds. To give a brief rundown of the archetype's playstyle to jog your memory, if you somehow have never watched the many Time Thief videos I have made, the goal of the deck is to make their boss monster Redoer and Perpetua if you play in the pure, or if you're playing it in an engine, make Redoer and then use the spare resources to assist in the main portion of the deck, or just still make Perpetua. Really, it has no difference. But anyway, now since they added the 2 new cards, I'm going to cover them both before we move into the new engine and how to utilize it. Starting with Double Barrel, it's kind of a gimmick card, and not the kind of good kind of gimmick, I guess. Since it lacks a self-stacking effect, it's going to be relying on the other cards to pick up the slack, which isn't bad, but considering the 2 main options for this is Perpetua and Flyback, yeah. Problem with this is you don't have enough resources to make Redoer, Perpetua, and double in most decks you will splash the engine into on turn 1, that is. So you're more likely to summon double past turn 2, and it's very unlikely that you want to summon it over something else, and this is considering you will still have Perpetua on the field. For other stacking options, Flyback is probably the only viable option, since Startup's graveyard effect will only trigger if you get another Startup in the graveyard, and, well, Beetle Ship is the thing, but you might as well still run Flyback. But anyway, in summary, Double Barrel can suck my ass, just make your 3rd Redoer instead. Now, talking about the good card, Adjuster is amazing and is a 2-off. Well, to be fair, you can run it at 3, but right now I like it at 2 for reasons we'll see later. Now, the reason why Adjuster is good is because it's incredibly flexible within Time Thief combos. While you can't have both effects, each one is viable with slightly different routing. Again, we'll cover routing later on, but to cover the dump target options you have for Adjuster, it's going to be mainly Beazle, Flyback, and Chronocoder. Starting from the top, Beazle isn't a card I've run anymore in the deck, but you can still side them in or main them for specific combos since it does have that graveyard float effect and can sort of fill the same role as Flyback. Yet again, Flyback is the better card if you want to use it for the graveyard effect where it's stealing cards, and it's one of the options you have to make Double Barrel variable, so I like to run it at 3 because I'm still running Double Barrel at 1. Chronocoder is still a one-off, but there's nothing stopping you from doing Regulator into Winder Adjuster Summon to dunk Chronocoder, so you can still do the Chronocoder combo that I show off in the other Time Thief video. Moving into its special summon effect, it's also quite the miracle worker. With this, it helps with dealing with brick hands, and also works well with Regulator, and certainly puts in a case for it being a free off if you want. First things first, this increases your chances of starting up the engine. Before, if you wanted to start the combo, you needed either Regulator, Regulator plus Startup, Winder plus Startup, Winder plus any other Time Thief monster, and that's about it. Now with Adjuster, it's any Time Thief monster plus Adjuster. So if you do the maths, you got, what 6 ways to start the combo? Or maybe it's 5, I don't know. I may have double counted Winder and Adjuster 2 times for that. But anyway, if I was smart enough, I would give you percentages of the likelihood of you being able to do the combo within a 40 card deck with the 15 card engine, but I'm not going to do that. So just take my word when I say it's much better with Adjuster. Also, another added benefit of this effect is the fact it opens up the potential to make triple material rank 4s with certain hands. That's right, you can now run Budget Trishula in your favorite deck. You can thank Adjuster later. With the new cards out of the way, It's time to cut to Past Me, who will now walk you through the engine. Take it away, Past Me. God, that transition was quite cringe, but yes, hello, welcome to the part where I explain the engine and show you the new plays you can do with the deck. I thought I would carry this over from the Disney Hero video, even if it took up like what, half of the runtime of that video. It's fine. We probably won't take too long. Give me a bit. I need to drink some water. So anyway, with the new engine, you're probably looking at something familiar like this. So you got 3 winders, 2 adjusters, 1 chronocoder, triple regulator, 3 startups, 3 flybacks. And then in the side deck, you can run 2 to 3 redoers. For this example, I'm running 3 redoers, 1 double barrel, 1 perpetua, and then the side stuff. Yeah, you can side some of these stuff in like hack, bezel ship, and adjuster. Now, of course, this engine has other variations you can run. Let's begin with the fact that you could just take out a flyback, run the adjuster, realize you should have moved the flyback so you can still use it as an example. You know, pretty cool. Then you have 3 adjusters, so you're more likely to do your combos with... Let me find that one useful card. Oh, God. This one. Oh, boss. Cool. I just thought it would be cool to part of them. So pretty much, with boss, you can go ahead and it has a very specific combo that I'll try to pull off now. So something like this. You do regulator, don't summon adjuster yet, because you need to activate regulator's effect. Winder, and of course we do the clone codes. In this case, don't activate the justice effect. Activate this adjuster's effect. Boom. Of course, it would be much better if we didn't draw the chronocoder. But if we didn't draw the chronocoder, you could have just used in the dump chronocoder, and then you would have probably done something else. But in this case, you can just completely give up doing the redo play and make Budget Trushla or Orboss. Yeah, it's not a bad card, but it does the job. And then that can be a play if you don't really want to be making the redoers. So that's another use for the Time Fit engine. You could probably make it more condensed if you want. I haven't tried it. I'll let you know through Twitter if I do find a way to condense it so you can just use it to summon Orboss. Now, if I can get the hand to be right... Give me a bit. So now, doing this combo, just want to do this. Regulator. Don't use up your normal summon. Regulator. Winder. Adjuster. Your chains light. Winder's more important. So you want to do adjuster first if you're worried about chain blocks. And then this. And then we'll add whatever. And then you can just do redo up. Chronocoder. Normal summon adjuster. And then you can special on double barrel or perpetua. You could go with double barrel because we have 2 flybacks in hand. Normally, if you don't have the flyback in hand, you probably just want to flow into perpetua. But yeah, I just click perpetua, and then that will give you the normal redo of perpetua board. Now, if I can get this right for this next one, let's see. Just a chronocoder. Make redoer. Justice effect. Send chronocoder. Chronocoder comes out. Again, we have the double flyback. Just double barrel and then set the flybacks. And then that's a normal time feed board, really. So if I was to just show you the normal plays without the constrictions of the engine. So looking at this time feed Spingens build, just do a quick test hand for it. Voila, it's a brick. Give me it. As soon as I want to show off this hand, it just wants to be weird. Okay, this is not a bad hand. Got gondola, and then we'll do regulator. winder, and we can do adjust to the dump. Yeah, we should do adjust to them. I'm debating if I want to activate adjuster here. We could do adjust to dump for Chronocoder, and the Chronocoder does its thing. Yeah. And then we will add a flyback, because we drew that one-off hack that I like to run. So I'm going to redo it. Activate winder's effect, send adjuster. Or any of the two is fine. Activate redoer's effect. Special summon itself, use our normal summon of that. And then just make any other rank force you want to make. In this case, because we do have the flyback, again, we can go straight into a double barrel. I feel like that's good justification here. And then you have the hack to protect your cards. You should activate. I honestly should have activated that earlier. And then with Springers, just faster gold into Explorer. And then Rocky just attaches itself to Explorer. And there we go. And then redo will come during the end phase. So that, so you have effectively, you can put flyback, give flyback anything you want from your deck, so it can just be anything you need for that point, like stealing cards or negating stuff. And then you have Explorer, he'll bash himself, pocketing faster Gondola. This is not a once per turn effect. If XYZ you control leaves the field. So redo will pocket too. So you got pretty much 2 negates you can do with these cards. It's quite fantastic, I'll give that. And of course with Explorer you can just power up for hack. You can even use a Petra to stack it up with hack. Yeah, so yeah, bit of Spingin's gameplay, not intended. But the route I was thinking that you could do, if I got this right, is effectively you will need a startup, a regulator, and a winder in hand. And then you pretty much need to do startup regulator. Regulator summons another winder from deck, and of course adjuster. They do their thing, adjuster dumps Chronocoder. Then you do winder, detaches one of the cards from the redoer after you make the redoer, of course. Bash the redoer to proc Chronocoder. And then that's like 2 cards already out. And then I don't. Yeah, and then you will need to be able to probably have another level 4 with a normal summon, and then you can make Ouroboros over it instead. That's a bit more stupid, if you ask me, but that is a option you have. Now, going back to other Time Thief things, what you can do if you want to run more monsters and not the startup, the flybacks, is you can run the free Beezer ships instead. This of course pushes it into a 16 card engine, so you can probably give up the adjuster so you can run 3 Beezer ships. You have more monsters to help start up the combo. That's if you really want to be seeing those combos. I really don't mind. It also kind of just, I think it dampens the possibility of you doing plays of double barrel. I mean, yes, double barrel is a good card. I think it's much better if you have the flyback. The hack is here if you just want to be able to play it. So if you're playing it again, let's say 3 flybacks, you can just take 1 flyback, put in the hack, and then voila, you have the hack that will do the protections and give you that alternative win condition if you're really just banking on redoer to hopefully carry you in making up what the deck can't do. But yeah, ideally this is what the engine should look like. But yet again, you can just run more copies of the other cards and just realize I moved the adjuster. But yeah, if I find a way to condense this enough so you can just summon Ouroboros instead of the redoers, I'll put it on Twitter. So yeah, follow me on Twitter if you want to see that happen eventually, because I'll probably won't make it into a video. But anyway, thank you for tuning in for this very whack part of the video. I'll hand it back to future me, who will now give you more deck builds for Time Thief engines and what you can do with it. See you then. Very cool. Thanks, past me, you cringe. Anyway, that cringe show done with, it's time to drop some new builds with some updated favourites. Let's start with the most recent addition to my growing collection of Time Thief builds, bringing in TIE Thief. Outside of the vast Desert Gold Gondol play I mentioned earlier, this deck also has some useful level 4s you can make use of, so you can make Redoer that tiny bit easier. This deck also has a focus on removal and XYZs to begin with, so Time Thief just kinda slides in without an issue. Now, if Springing isn't your thing, here's a whack Dominica build that you could try running, but I still recommend the Springing build over this. Keeping in theme with the whack Time Thief builds, here's Holy Night Thief. Yet again, just kind of throwing whatever looks like it will vaguely work with Time Thief together. And this has promise. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing with the Holy Night gang, but feel free to play around with this and figure out what's going on with this, because honestly, I do not know why I tried to do this. It's like... whoo! Okay, now moving into something more sensible and a personal favourite of mine, Layer Thief featuring Rika. Now, while the main deck still looks like a hot mess of whack ratios, this deck did get, well, a boost in its power with the reveal of Periton, giving it more control thanks to its negates. This deck has always been fine-tuned by me, so keep an eye out on my Twitter if you want to see a more, well, final version of the deck, because, yeah, I don't really post much deck lists on there, but when I do, it's usually going to be a very different thing. So, yeah, just follow me on Twitter if you want to see me update this deck, because honestly, this might end up just being a 60 card deck with enough traps to power it to the moon. The next build is my updated take on a Phantom Thief deck, since I have a feeling that the Phantom Knight script I'm working on will take longer to be released, so might as well share it now instead of saving it for that video. Now, with Rusty back at 1, it makes that Ouroboros play that I showed, earlier, much better, since you can just summon out Rusty and set up for Phantom Knight stuff, but I wouldn't recommend that. Instead, just go turn 2, turbo out Redo a combo into Raiders Knight, and summon Archibarian, and go. My final build for this video is my updated Time Lord build featuring Raiders Knight so you can demolish the enemy. This is probably the best the deck will get for a very long time, so I'm going to be retiring this deck after this video. So if you're looking to try out any of these decks I've recommended so far, this is by far the most complete deck, and so there isn't much tinkering you have to do with it, and its playstyle is very straightforward and easy to learn. So if you want to get used to Time Thief combos, this is very friendly, especially with Ixchel letting you be able to draw into your, well, increase the chance of you starting up the Time Thief combo, and there's other plays you can do with it. So yeah, pick up this deck if you just want to learn the Time Thief engine, and who knows, you might end up finding a love for the Dark Lord video, which you can also find a video explaining that archetype somewhere on my channel that I can't remember, so you're gonna have to go looking for it, sorry. Now with the deck builds covered, we're done here. I do hope that this video has been, well, extremely informative on the new potential this deck has. While Adjuster may look like the final card for the archetype, I hope with them being tied to Psyframe and Security Force in terms of lore, we will continue to see more additions to the deck, so the deck can move past being an engine and being a fleshed out deck. Until then, I just hope Adjuster and Dollar Barrel makes its way into the TCG in a speedy fashion, because I would love to be able to run these at locals in a low rarity too, so Time Thief can keep its benefit of being a cheap engine. Just please don't screw that up, Konami, like please. Okay, so second time doing this. May have had the mic muted last time. It's okay, but anyway, thank you for making it through this video. Give me a bit. Still got the cough. Very irritating. I'm going to be trying to avoid doing recorded stuff like this, because no one wants to hear someone sick talking about gimmicky text scripts, which is good because that gives me time to focus on more important stuff, which is going to be
this new project we're working on, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Casual Circuit. This is probably going to be coming out the day after we do the promo video. So if you're interested in that, make sure you watch that promo video. But yeah, we'll talk about all the details of that there. So mainly I'm going to be focusing on that. So you probably won't get a Gimmicky tech until next year, maybe not even around January, because there's a lot of things happening around January. So yeah, but when we do that, we will be doing Charmers, because I did feel like, well, Charmers definitely deserve a go. Definitely. I feel like I should have done Charmers straight after Witchcrafters anyway, so yeah. And then we'll probably do Phantom Knights, because that script is so close to being complete. It just needs a couple. Yeah, I need to find the motivation to finish it, but yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to be focusing on that. So this is coming out on Wednesday, the next episode of the Monster Hunter World Series. And then for the Time Thief Spring and stuff, that will be coming out with the Amazement attractions. Yeah, I'm going to be looking into doing this. An idiot's play video on this archetype, because it's, oh my god, amazing. I've already talked about it on stream. I'll probably talk about it more when I get to it on the next episode of the podcast. But yes, oh god, I am quite interested for that, and that's coming in Lightning Overdrive, so we probably won't be seeing it until autumn. But yeah, anyway, thank you for tuning in. If you found this informative, please do not be afraid to share it around, even if the audio quality is horrible, and I do not know why. Like, legitimately, I record these back to back, and for some reason, everywhere where it goes quiet, it's just the audio just shitting itself. Like, honestly, I don't know why. And then it just goes loud and quiet, loud. I'm like, I don't know. Because it was like that before I even normalized audio. So it's like, I just don't get it. But anyway, hopefully we won't have that problem in the future. Because I'm not using the Turtle Beach headset anymore that I was using. I'm back on my Kraken. I had it fixed. But yeah. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, share the video, and go watch my other videos, and then share those if you find those informative and you want to share it to your friends. So anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye.